pretty sure every missionary says this, but I think that missionary work in the Liberia Monrovia mission is just the most blessed in the entire world, because every single day there was people that were coming up to us and just saying, "Hey, what are you guys doing? I want to know about what you guys are teaching. Will you come teach me about Jesus? I want to learn about Jesus." Honestly, I can maybe think of 2 experiences of all the contacting that I've ever done where someone said no to wanting to listen to the message about Jesus Christ. So finding it's not necessarily an issue there, but the thing that's a little bit more difficult is finding those that will receive you, finding those that want to learn about Jesus Christ, but then also want to accept this true message that we have to share. And so the missionary work there was just so blessed, because every single person's life, it revolves around God in West Africa. Every single person's life, they decide what they're going to do with what kind of God would look at it, like what God would think of what they're doing. They have conversations about, I don't think they can go a day without having a conversation about something that has to do with the scriptures or religion or anything like that. And you can see it in their culture, how it's because God is such a big part of their life, they always want to learn about Jesus Christ. For even if at first they just kind of want to listen to you because if you're coming from the States or something, if you're white, then maybe they want to just listen to you because you're a white man. Or maybe they just want to listen to you because you're wearing a white shirt and tie. A lot of the times when you actually start teaching them the message, this different message that we have, they start to kind of let it affect their lives, and then they want to go share it, because that's what they do. When they hear about Jesus Christ, when they hear about a message that we share, the next thing they want to do is they want to go share it with other people as well. The mission at the time that I was there, when I was there for about 18 months, the mission got closed because of a deadly Ebola virus. Which this is a hard story for probably any of the missionaries there. But at the time that I was there, when I first got there was something like 48 missionaries. And then when I was leaving, there was something around 86. And then we were going to get, I think, like 30 more in the next 2 transfers. So the mission was growing just so fast. And then the quality of people being baptized, the quality of the branches were growing so much. When I went there, they had recently had just 2 districts. And then when I left, about I think a month before I left, they organized a 3rd district. They were working on a 4th district. All the branches that I were in, they were beginning to split them. So the missionary work was just exploding there. And it's different from before, because before they were getting a lot of baptisms, but the retention wise and the church growing wise, it wasn't the greatest. But then when we started there, and we had just an amazing mission president, and I know the person there now is also an amazing mission president that focused on those people who are going to build the church. And when we left, it was difficult because of those relationships that we built and how much the church relied on the missionary effort there. But then when we left, I was kind of praying and asking, I'm like, why is this happening? Why am I leaving this wonderful mission? Why do I have to leave all these wonderful people? And then I was able to receive an answer to that prayer. It was just kind of Heavenly Father promising me, He's like, they need to learn to rely on their own talents and abilities. They need to learn to rely on the leadership of the church, the leadership and the people that they have in the church, and not just on the missionaries. Because a lot of times anytime they had a less active, they would just kind of say, oh, well, here, give it to the missionaries, and have them go and not take as much responsibility to themselves. But then when we left, I'm like, I got that prompting that they're going to step it up. And I had a convert who who from the time that I left, we all left, the whole mission left, he stepped it up, and he says he spends 2 or 3 times a week going and doing missionary work. And he said from the time that I left, he's had 25 baptisms by himself. And he said all of them are strong, all of them are still coming. And recently, they just, start of July, they called a new mission president. And they were going to have some of the missionaries in West Africa and other places in West Africa go back to Liberia to continue the missionary work there, but they recently had 2 other cases of Ebola, so they kind of held that off. So right now the mission president's there just with the church leadership, working on what he has to do, getting his feet wet.